Welcome back to the Daily. It's part 3 where we're watching Dat Dongre Goo be Oso Gosu Derpa 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 Doo. And we were talking a lot about times to build banelings, time to build upgrades, or not time to build banelings. Forget everything I just said because it was embarrassing for me. Let's try this again. In part 1 and 2, we looked at a lot of the concept of he does something weird. How do we recover? Relative timings is one big thing, but a general concept is that if he is doing aggression that hurts his ability to have a core army, we can delay tech, focus on drones, not worry about being attacked too much. And that's something that I want to make a subtle distinction on. The obvious one would be if he's going Banshee Hellion, then he's going starports and factories, which hurts his ability to go Marines and tanks in just a basic resourcing sense. What if he went for Marine Marauder and he attacked us with Marine Marauder early? If he went away and we didn't kill off any of it, then that has helped him with his eventual big mid-game army. Why? Because he freaking has the Marine Marauder there. If he lost everything, then that hurts his ability to have that mid-game army. So sometimes it has to do with money and production. Other times it has to do with just what you have killed. But all in all, anytime he does these failed attacks, it buys us time. So right here, I want to just re-note something significant that happened in this period of time, especially when the Mutalisks were done. We should be building drones right now. We should be building drones with our Mutalisks. There it starts off, but there's a little bit of a scare that happens for Dongre Goo, it appears. When I say building drones, I don't mean a ton. I mean like maybe getting to like 75 or 80. But see, we're building a lot of lings, we're delaying drones. We're building a lot of lings, we're delaying drones. We're building a lot of lings, we're delaying drones. We're building a lot of lings, we're delaying drones. And the real tragedy of mid-game mistakes is happening before our eyes. We are seeing a Zerg player who is building a ton of Zerglings to defend an attack that doesn't ever happen. This attack has not happened. If we just got an extra 10, 15 drones, we'd be at, we'd be at close to our 80, and then we'd have these 4 geysers running. What does that mean? It means that we can actually make use of our infestation pit. However, in this period, I think Dongre Goo made the big mistake that ends up crippling him in this game. Other than that, Dongre Goo is a brilliant player who goes ahead and plays brilliantly. How does he defend this expansion? This expansion is sort of like a conditional thing. We leave all our units at the north end. This is just a general cool advice bit for dealing with attacks and certain expanding patterns. With this base, what we say is, if he comes at us, or should I say, if he comes at us, bro, we defend. If he goes anywhere else, we counterattack his close base. This is a very simple technique that if you have a mobile army, you can do it, where you position your whole mobile-ass army in one spot. And if he goes through that spot, you defend, and if he doesn't, you counterattack from that vantage point. The one thing that I would say is that this has to be, your army has to be in a good position to counterattack. It has to be a close counterattack. The counterattack has to hit before his attack. So for instance, if we expanded down here, and then the Terran pushed through here to attack us, again, I'll come down here and just do it from the mini-map. If we expanded here, and we were saying that we wanted to counterattack like this, notice that this counterattack distance is long. If he just took an army and swept down to our natural expansion, just look at the physical distance of my mouse cursor, and now look at the physical distance again. You're noticing that it is much faster for him down here. So again, if you expand close to him, you position your army on top, and if he goes that way, you defend, elsewise you attack. So a nice little counterattack. Not being wasteful on the banelings, misses about 7 SCVs. And cool, because our counterattack was faster than his push, then it forces him to come back. Okay, so what also happened there? We lost a lot of Mutalisks. How many Mutalisks did we lose? A lot. A lot.
The hive cluster is under attack.
A lot. A lot. A lot. 10 Mutalisks. So that's obviously bad to lose a lot of Mutalisks like that. This is, you know, this will happen every now and again, and you can say, yeah, I shouldn't have lost those 8 Mutalisks for freaking free. No big deal. It happens. So once again, we position this army here, and if he comes down this right flank, we can counterattack up the north one.
Mineral field depleted.
We can do that. We don't have to, but that is a reasonable play here. Looks like right now, we're seeing some classic distraction that happens when we're out of mutas. And then this turns into kind of a standard mid-game. We do have our 4 bases up. Again, I'd like to note that we're about 300 gas short on these extractors because we waited 2 minutes to build them and to saturate them. So again, we don't really want to go for a counterattack right now because the distance of his position to our base is much shorter than the distance of our base to his in the counterattack. But other than that, we have our 2-2 units. We're actually in a really nice spot up gradually. The only issue is that we have 7 infestors instead of the 9 or 10 that we should. And we didn't have all those Mutalisks that would help us abate drops a great deal. I'll note one brief thing that's kind of a preference of mine that I think I'll say the responsible thing. I'm not sure how good this advice that I'm about to give you is. Ordinarily, whenever I give a bit of advice, I try to not state it as my opinion and instead try to say things like, notice this timing and this timing and this timing and this timing, so that way you can be like, oh, I see, oh, cool. That's because I'm a math major and I like saying shit that's true instead of shit that I feel should be true. So here's something that I actually I'm not sure about. In general, if I have had a player be very aggressive against me, in general, I prefer to get Overlord speed. I prefer to get it. I haven't had the same map control with my Mutalisks and Lings. I don't have the same creep spread to get map vision. I just like to get the speed of Overlords up. I just like that a lot. He'll be low on Marines, he'll be low on his big army, so you can generally get those speed Overlords into a good position. Of course, you'll lose one every now and again because he'll just stim and run under, so, you know, don't be an idiot with it, but I just like it. And the reasoning behind it is like this. In this position, where's his army positioning? We don't know, but if we could just poach with an Overlord and then, oh, he's not coming this way. All right, let me run this way. Oh, found the army. We don't want stuff like this to happen. Where it's just like, derp, surprise, Marines. Also, I have no idea where those drones were going. We actually just lost a huge chunk of drones. It may have been right-click down here, but I mean, the Mutalisk thing that happened here, that drone stuff, this engagement is not so bad. Yeah, right now, Dongreggu, I think, lost a lot of the drones there. I mean, really bad. I actually want to see that. Like, this is... How many did he lose? How many did he lose? How many drones did this motherfucker lose? Alright, yeah, he was at 75, 134 Zerglings. Did he really lose 20 drones? Uh-oh, uh-oh, oh, oh! Rearranging, it's danger time. Rearranging, it's in the danger zone. That's 13 drones. That's a lot of drones to lose. Yeah. It's a lot of drones. Last little bit I'll note. This expansion must be one that we don't obsess over defending. It has to die. Why is that? Because this expansion is established, so it's kind of an anchor pulling us to the top side. This expansion, you'll notice, is close to where that anchor point is, so this is okay to defend. This, we should, if he attacks us, we should just counterattack up this way. But I actually think Dongregu's in a good position until this happens. And that is very bad. And then we see Dongregu just kind of swing up on this backside and attack, losing a tremendous amount of infestors to Thors. Killing off a lot, but still not an extraordinary amount. I always think Dongregu is pretty much doing about as well as he can. He lost so freaking many drones. God, he lost a lot of drones, and he's just not mining that much. I mean, that just sucks. He's getting these 2 bases up. I personally wouldn't have even taken this base. I'm going Ling, Infestor, Baneling. I don't really have good access to this. I'd prefer to just keep my expansions tight, especially considering that I'm low on money. But as we can see, little counterattacks are good. Now that this has happened, we don't even really want to worry about that. We're just trying to kill off as many bases and faces as we can. I'm probably going to just breeze through the analysis at this point, because right now Dongregu is fighting an uphill battle. The best he can hope to do is counter his way into a win, or have his opponent not lift up his command center like an idiot, which happens surprisingly frequently. And then the last little thing that kind of made me go, meh. We very much so want to be either focusing heavily on attacking this, or heavily on defending this. And once again, I just like having Overlord speed at this time. Notice that this counterattack is good, because we see where his army's positioned. We want to check here. We just want... Dongregu has performed this maneuver a lot in this game. So then we see that the he's going to be going for DCR expansion. But there's an unforced attack. This attack here is just another maneuvering error. Right here. Completely unforced, coming in at a bad angle. An attack based on prayer. So that's just, I thought was a really good game. In terms of learning from the Zerg perspective, where we saw actually how far Dongregu could stretch his droning edge and his teching edge and his long-term edge, despite all these crazy things happening in the moment. And then Dongregu, even in this one situation, made a few more lings than he should have made drones, and it kind of slowly aided him. But even then, I think that he would have been fine. What ended up happening is a number of unit control-y type mistakes, like losing a bunch of mutilisks, not having clear vision of where the opponent's army was, some great counterattacks to help Dongregu continue to stay in the game, and then like this last sort of attack. And this is the sort of thing that I think will happen a lot. I'm speaking from the easiest angle to speak from ever. I'm not either of these two players. I don't have a particularly emotional attachment to one of them winning or losing. I'm just looking at a really good Zerg player versus a really good Terran player and enjoying their performance for me. So I have the fortunate cold objectivity to be like, oh yeah, this attack, we could have checked there. Maybe shouldn't have done that. In the moment, you're going to do this a lot. Like, so much. And in fact, I would be surprised if you didn't. Like, you hear me talk about this, when I'm playing a game, I do this sort of shit, right? I'm like, oh my god, I'm behind. Oh, I really gotta go attack here. The key is to be able to step away after the game and then look and go, oh, my instinct was wrong. My instinct is that I was behind and that I had to go for the attack there. Allow me to adjust said instinct. So I'm damn good at that between game sort of thing, but within game, totally not good at the on-the-fly analysis. I don't think that there's a lot of people who are, to be honest. I mean, there certainly are people who are just phenomenal at it. I'm not one of them. And that is the way that I deal with it, is just to do the in-between thing. So let's go ahead and take some questions, and then I'm going to run off to Dat Din Din. W3 Liffen says, Day 9, do you hate 2 Starport Banshee play from Terran? As Terran, I love it when they do it. If I'm Zerg, I'm totally comfortable if they do it. And if I'm Protoss, I want to shoot myself in the fucking heart. I hate being Protoss against a 2-port Bansheeing player. You just can't ever leave your base, ever! And I keep trying to not build Phoenixes. I think I should just man up and build the Phoenixes if they go too poor. I just don't want to. Oh, man. Ninjuri J says, Day 9, why do we want to win at Hive? I understand that the best units are there, but so what? I have two, maybe I have three answers as to why. The most basic reason why I say you want to be winning at Hive is that the best Zerg units are there, and the simplest Zerg units are there. Like, the Infestor Broodlord composition is easy, because Broodlords are better than everything. They're just fucking great units! So you just get those, and they can win in direct fights. Mutalisks can't win in direct fights. Roaches can win in some direct fights. Zerglings can sometimes win in direct fights. Banelings are probably the next best thing for Zerg to deal with direct fights. Infestors can't fight, they can support, right? The Broodlords and the Ultras are like just the good units for Zerg. So that's the most basic reasoning why. I think the more important, the second one, is that if you focus on Hive Tech, it forces you to think about early, middle, even late mid-game as all things that should point to the Hive Tech. Because if they don't, then something's wrong. It helps with your learning a lot. You get a lot of experience, a lot of practice, and all your issues have clear goals. Shit, I keep losing... what's one? When Terran does blah, I feel like I have to delay my Hive for a lot. How do I avoid that delay? It's not, I keep losing to blah. That's a statement that doesn't have a goal. If you say something like, I'm losing to this attack that comes at 17 minutes, how can I either get my Hive before 17 minutes or stay alive until my Hive is done after 17 minutes? It has a clear path. So that's really the big second one. Big second one. I had a third one. I don't remember it. Those two are good enough. Oh my god. I spilled. Ugh. From ZCKI. Day 9. Why did he go for 1-0 Zerglings and not for 0-1 Zerglings? I thought he did go for 1-0 Zerglings. Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know. Depends on how you do notation. Let me just note something. Okay, I know that the armor is the first one, and these claws are the second one. I know that's in the picture, but almost always we do it as attack, defense, or this is the most common one. So we would say that these are 0-1 lings because attack comes first, or we would say like 1-1-0 zealots for attack, armor, shield. It's also common to see people do this for attack, armor, or excuse me, attack, shield, armor, like that, in that order. But generally the attack, armor is the most common order. This is a Zergling with +1 attack. I don't know why that's the standard, but it is. So if I'm a bunch of 1-0 lings, I'm a bunch of attack lings. Still doesn't answer the question. I just wanted to make that established. Here's a clearer question for anyone who doesn't like notation. Why armor instead of attack? I think armor is better for lings because a tank shot doesn't kill your Zerglings in one hit. So if you run up and to do some counter and a tank shots, Zerglings don't die, so you can retreat, you take no losses. Also, in engagements with Marines, you will win battles more easily. Someone did a series of nice tests where they just had, like, you know, X Zerglings against Y Marines, and tested it with armor and then with shield upgrades. And the shield upgrade Zerglings were vastly superior, especially the larger that the armies got. In small armies, when all the Zerglings can get up there, the attack's a little better. But if you get like over 12 Marines, the armor's better. So that's why I like armor. One more thing. Let's do one more. Two questions, actually. First one from Shadoroth. Day 9, in the mid-game, what is the best response for an enormous Terran Doom drop on the expansions? It's actually vision control. If you're losing to big Doom drops, then you need to have your overlords spread out in more defensive positions and be looking at the minimap more. Also pivotal to this is creep spread. There should never be a Doom drop that surprises you. And in general, Doom drops as Terran against Zerg are very weak, because the Zerg has the faster army. So it's very easy to cut down a Doom drop before it even gets anywhere. Of course, this can be a little bit of an issue if you're going Infester. But again, it's still just a vision issue. There's no correct unit counter to Doom drops or the buildings you should place in the main and other things that involve me grabbing at you. No matter what, it's always a vision issue. Just get the overlords in a better position, put them more aggressively, watch the minimap more. There is literally a direct correlation between your skill at the game and how much you look at the minimap. The more you look at the minimap, the better you will, on average, are at StarCraft 2. And as a result, I would argue that the better you will be, that it is a causation thing, not just a correlation thing. The more you look at the minimap, the stronger your play will be. Last one from Dalakon555. Day 9, what can a Terran player do in the mid-game in regards to a Zerg going multi-queen? The biggest thing, again, is not how do I deal with it now, it's how do I take advantage of this long-term. Build another command center. Get your upgrades up earlier. Yeah, those are the two big ones. Hell, delay building more Marines. Build less defenses. He can't attack you with queens. So easy to fall into that mindset of how do I go kill him? How do I kill his queens and break through these queens? Don't have to do it, man. All you got to do is defend. Now I'm going to go. Hope you had fun. I feel better. It's feeling a little weird before the daily, but I feel better now because I did a daily. Yay. Now, I am going to be not doing any new dailies next week. I'm hoping to have some reruns running. But I am having surgery on my mouth because my teeth are disintegrating. So when you see me next, I should have repaired teeth, which I'm not sure how I feel about. But having repaired teeth is better than this tooth falling out and then this tooth falling out. Well, I guess disintegrate is the word that he used, but tragically he showed me like a little picture-y thing, and he's like, you see this huge encroaching loss of tooth? It was like a weird like hollowy thing, and I was like, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I don't even know what he's going to do. I just know that I have surgery Monday at 8 a.m. And I'm going to an inexpensive place to do it. That's it. Yes, for the next Fun Day Monday, which will obviously not be on Monday, please submit to me a game of when you attack, you may only attack workers. You may only attack in the worker line. It's the swing it in from the back. Day 9 Daily Fun Day Monday. If you drop in his back and he engages you in an assault there, that's fine. If he attacks you and you need to defend his attack, that's fine. But you can't just go off and kill his army in the middle of the map. You can't drop in his main and kill his production structures. You have to kill units. Or excuse me, you have to kill workers. It is the big mass starvation Fun Day Monday. Submit to me those Monday at day9.tv. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching me. It was so fun. Yip yippee. Let's go ahead and do that request that I see popping up oh so much in chat. Learning the ropes. See you later.